especially they're comparing McCarthy and Sam Darnold heavy. You know the narrative that will be pushed. They even hyped it up in the NFC Championship, right? Right. You know how many times did they say Sam Darnold, former Vikings quarterback last year? Huh? They said that all season, right? Oh, the Vikings let him go. The Vikings should have kept Sam Darnold. You know all this nonsense they've been talking. But like I tell you, it's like part of the Epson flow. Because if you go back when we drafted JJ McCarthy, everyone was happy, right? Everyone was excited for McCarthy to get in the building. Oh, they found the future. They found the quarterback. This, that, all this. Boom, bam. But the minute he messes up or has a tough season, a tough rookie season, they want to make him the scapegoat, bro. You hear me? Once again. So when you sit back, boom, peep game, you understand what's really going on, right? Right. But this whole Sam Darnold situation, him being with the Seahawks, everyone wants to sit and compare quarterbacks, but no one wants to sit and compare coaches. And like I always say, coaching, the most important part of a team, hands down, man down. You can have all the talent in the world, homie. If you ain't got coaches to coach up and develop that talent and put them in the best position to win, guess what? It doesn't matter. It's all chatter. So at the end of the day, in order to break down Sam, you got to break down KOC, huh? Boom. In order to break down Sam, you got to look at Clint Kubiak. You got to look at Mike McDonald. You hear me? Heavy, homie. We're talking about a second-year head coach who's already surpassed KOC. He's not the only one to do it, only team to do it. You got a first-year head coach, right? And Ben Johnson already surpassed KOC. You know what I mean? So let's really study and start to peep the process of the head coach and not so much the quarterback. You know, let's just be realistic and really fair here. Let's do the right thing, man. For real, no cap. There's no way you can look at the season and say, hey, oh, this season, the bad play was because of McCarthy. Come on, man. Poppycock. Ain't no way you can look at Sam Darnold ball, but the whole time he's being managed correctly. You dig me? You get my drift? Huh? You know. Yes, this has to do with, yes, you got to respect and give props to Sam Darnold for stepping up in big moments. When they had to put the ball in his hands for a certain amount of time, he handled that Seahawks business. But like I said in the last live, man, they still were smart about it. They still made it make sense from play calling to game management. They scripted it. They catered to Sam Darnold the whole time, and not just the NFC Championship game throughout the whole season. I mean, go check out the Seahawks stats. Matter of fact, I'll get into their stats in a minute. But that's what it comes down to, man. That's the bottom line. You hear me? Point blank, period, no cap. KOC blew it again with another quarterback. Huh? KOC is no longer, really never has been a QB whisperer, Holmes. It's all been a hype. It's all been a facade. And when you think about it, man, boom. It's all been a hype and a facade about KOC since he entered the building. Since his first presser as the Vikings head coach. Really, him and Quasi been hyped up from the get-go, from jump, man. Yeah. They came in really not having to prove a point. They came in, Minnesota Vikings, nice. Everybody, what? Making them feel welcome, feel loved, catering to them, heavy. Thinking they're the ones, believing the hype. Even me was definitely caught up in it, bro. Still excited about the culture and new energy that they bring. But at the end of the day, like I say, when do you start to see progress in the process? You hear me, homie? I got to make a comparison. You talk about when Nick Saban came to Bama. He had certain things on his mental. He had a whole process planned out, a whole program to get them boys ready to change the whole program, right? But not only that, the whole mental state of Alabama, a certain way he was going to recruit and build his team, a certain identity, right? He wanted them to have as a team. He came in, broke it, tore it all down, got rid of certain coaches, brung better ones in, man, who were on the same accord as him. His recruiting was damn near flawless, man. Yeah, he didn't only attack the 5 stars though. No, he went and got them dogs, them real Levy dogs who was hungry. So it was a process he went through and put his whole staff and players through that made a lot of sense, that made them better and prepared them for the NFL. KOC and Quasi ain't done nothing for real, homie, but talk good as a bitch since they've been in the building. You know what I mean? Early, man. Early. Since they stepped foot in the building, all they've been doing is sounding good and talking real good. Every damn time. From the first intro to this most recent one in year 4. We're going on year 5 now. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's been the same thing. You have one good season, boom, you have a down season. You hear me? You have another good season, you out of there first round, a down season, no playoffs, nothing. Making promises to the fans, promises to the people. What did KOC say all last off season, bro? You hear me? Even after the Rams game, he said how important it was to fix this interior line, get more protection for this quarterback, get more of a run game. What did he say during training camp, bro? OTAs. Oh, he gonna run the ball more. We're gonna be a more physical team, and he ain't do none of that. The man came with the same mentality damn near the whole season. He ain't change up, homie, switch up until the pressure was really on. And then even after that, at times, he reverted back to his old self. But people love to blame McCarthy and want to compare McCarthy to Sam Darnold, homie. No. Compare the coaches. Compare Mike McDonald to KOC. 2 years in the game. And he's already surpassed KOC, bro, as far as playoff wins. This man getting ready to have his team play in a Super Bowl, his second year in. But people still want to talk about how great KOC is and how it ain't his fault for this and ain't his fault for that. And they want to sit here and talk about, we should have kept Sam. We should have kept Sam. But when Sam had a collapse in the playoffs and versus the Lions, everybody say, Sam can go. You know what I mean? When I was saying you can't just blame Sam, you got to look at coaching and definitely blame the O-line. You hear me? Everybody look at it like, you tripping, homie. Yeah. Huh? You see how it go, man? You see how the cookie crumble, bro? Huh? Every damn time. They was off Sam early. But we got McCarthy. Let's save money. Let's build around him. Then you got Sam, go to the Seahawks. Go to the Seahawks, man. Ball out. Because he was put in the best position to win. So y'all really need to be saying, hey, we want McDonald instead of KOC. Y'all really need to be saying, hey, let's look at the head coach position. You hear me, homie? Heavy. But they want to make it about quarterback play. When you're talking about a rookie who was really a rookie this season. Being coached by a coach who didn't even put the full effort in, the full work in to really develop him. We talking about mechanics, footwork, Throwing mechanics, that should have been dealt with beginning of OTAs, man. Training camp, right? Yeah. If KOC really breaking down and developing his player, right? Putting full effort in to his quarterback, That's how I know it's all cap. They didn't have him ready. They didn't have him prepared for real. They didn't understand how to manage him. And it was the same thing with Sam Darnold, man. You know, Sam Darnold just had more experience, bro. Understood the game more. Right? He wasn't a rookie, so he could handle it better. Come on, man. Then you got JG, Jonathan Grenard. Shout out my homie, my dog, my brother. But you got him coming up around yonder, making tweets and sending subliminal messages, talking about ... We're going to get into it in a minute. You hear me? Everybody assuming if the Vikings would have kept Sam Darnold, or they would have been in the Super Bowl, they would have been in the same situation as the Seahawks. How? Yeah, man, with KOC and his play calling, bro, you hear me? With this inconsistent offense, how inconsistent it was the whole season, homie, you hear me? Y'all want to sit here and act like, oh, if we would have just kept Sam, we would have been in the Super Bowl. What? You can't sit there and say that comfortably. From what you've seen from this offense this past year, from the calling you've seen from this coach, bro, this past year. How can you really sit there around yonder and feel comfortable about saying that? That's erroneous information. It's no guarantee the Vikings would have had the same outcome of the season as the Seahawks did. You hear me? Point blank, period, no cap. You can't assume nothing, man. It was a totally different game plan Seattle came with, bro. Different offensive type, offensive scheme, and all that. The scheme fits Sam Darnold perfectly. You hear me? Early. You take the ball out of his hands. You don't put the ball in his hands too much. And when you have to put the ball in his hands, you call certain plays and make it make sense. Where he doesn't have to try and force it. Or where he don't got to try to read the field or read the defense too much. Of course, at times he will have to step up, man. Boom, that's the quarterback position. It won't always be perfect, right? Right. But at the end of the day, homie, you put your quarterback in the best position to win. And KOC didn't do that with McCarthy. And I can reverse it as well, bro. You put McCarthy with Mike O'Donnell, McCarthy with Mike McDonald, McCarthy with Ben Johnson, McCarthy with whoever, any coach you want to name. Kyle Shanahan, etc., etc., etc. Huh? A coach who has proven that he can really develop and work with a quarterback, right? And build a scheme, create a playbook that fits his quarterback. Huh? Hands down, man down. KOC has yet to do that, bro. Period. You know what I mean? Then he goes on a podium and disrespects the quarterback he drafted and traded up 2 drafts. The quarterback he identified. You know? Now when it's convenient, him and Quasi get their biscuit heads up there and want to downplay the situation and downplay McCarthy as a quarterback and as a man as well. But y'all want to make about, oh, him grittying, celebrating a touchdown, oh, his attitude, his demeanor, oh, his friction between him and KOC. Why? For what? You know what I mean? You think Ben Johnson worried about the way Caleb Williams celebrates, huh? Or his attitude, or his feistiness and toughness, homie, or any other coach in the world? You think their main focus is to change who their quarterback is? Now, some may say, oh, McCarthy can mature a little bit more. Maybe that's the case. But come on, man. He's a 22-year-old rookie quarterback. Huh? But instead of KOC focus on him being a dog on that field, homie, for real, focusing on the way he put it on the line, put his body on the line for his team. Last game of the season, bro, when he really should have set out, he put his body on the line, his hand on the line for his teammate, Jettas. So Jettas could get that 1,000+ receiving yards consecutive seasons. Huh? You think McCarthy didn't know that? You think McCarthy probably even really wanted to play? And let's not sit here and act like we ain't see KOC get another quarterback hurt, damn near killed out there on the field where it get real. You see what he did with Carson Wentz. So what we really talking about and speaking about here, bro? So I tell you, I ask you once again, when you want to start comparing McCarthy and Sam Darnold, hell to the no, man, don't do that. Compare KOC to Mike McDonald, huh? Or Clint Kubiak to KOC, huh? You hear me? Heavy. And watch how those Seahawks operates their offense and operates and controls Sam Darnold, right? Even when they may be down or the game gets tough. Watch how they don't panic and they still lean on the run. For real, bro. You saw it in the NFC Championship game when the Rams were trying to fight back. They was trying to fight back. What the Seahawks do every time they got the damn ball, they never panicked. They leaned on the run game, but they also mixed it up very good. Very good, bro. Very well. They hit you with the short game, boom. Mid game, boom. Long game, boom. Huh? It all came down to the management of Sam Darnold, homie. Yeah. And you compare both seasons, homie. Yeah. The biggest moments of the seasons, homie. Yeah. Vikings, Detroit Lions game could have got the first seed. Seahawks versus the Rams earned the first seed, bro. You hear me? No cap. Clint Kubiak and Mike McDonald really understood and got to know who Sam Darnold was, what he could do, his strengths and his weaknesses, and they didn't force him into bad situations. KOC has been in his ego for 4 years, definitely 3. See, he was feeling himself a little bit his first season, right? Right, bro. You hear me? Boom. Yeah, first season, he's feeling himself. Yeah, a little bit. He's winning. You know what I mean? Had a good, solid season. You know? But then the league started to figure him out. He thought he had it all figured out. Thought he knew everything. He caught the fans, caught the league off guard. You know what I mean? Period. No cap. Then when it started not to work, he started to panic. He couldn't adjust. He doesn't know how to call a game for 4 quarters, man. No disrespect. I'm just being honest here around yonder. And until he proves something different, I don't want to hear nothing about KOC and how good he is. The man ain't won a playoff game in 4 years, man. I repeat, 4 years, homie. Yeah. And they want to tell me something about KOC. Let's get into the Jonathan Grenard situation, man. Because Jonathan Grenard send a little cryptic tweets and stuff of that nature. Hey, JG, let me holler at you, big dog. You know, my brother. But I got to holler at you for real, my brother, huh? Yeah. Believe that. You hear me? Heavy. You know what I mean? Crazy, bro. Everybody acting like if Sam Darnold would have remained, the Vikings would have won a damn Super Bowl. So ain't no way in hell they paying attention to the season for real or what happened or how the season panned out. Ain't no way in hell they paying attention to KOC and putting any blame on him. Period. No cap, man. For real. Come on now. Stop the cap, bro. Earlier. You know? Vikings Jonathan Grenard gets cryptic after Sam Darnold makes Super Bowl. Former Minnesota Viking QB Sam Darnold is heading to the Super Bowl after the Seattle Seahawks defeated the Los Angeles Rams 31-27 in the NFC title game to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. Darnold went 25 for 36 on his pass attempts for 346 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. And that may have been the most they've ever thrown the ball with Darnold the whole season, bro. For real. You probably would have to look at the stats to get the true answer, but I guarantee he ain't never thrown no 36 times in one game during a regular season, homie. Yeah, that was definitely an anomaly for the Seahawks right there. But it came down to it, certain situations where they had to put the ball in his hands more and put their foot on the Rams' neck and really put the game away. And he handled that position very well. But at the same time, whole time, they called smart plays, right? Every time, bro, every drive damn near. Play calling made a lot of sense. It was in sync, bro. It was in the defense off guard, right? Numerous times. And Sam didn't have to what? Overthink. And they had solid O-line protection. That comes down to it as well. They had a mean run game as well. You hear me, dog? No cap. So people forget all the subtle things that goes into having a good offense, goes into a quarterback being successful, man. You hear me? No cap. Point blank, period. Hands down, man. Down. That's why when they sit here and say, oh, if we would have kept Sam, or we should have kept Sam and set McCarthy, sitting here thinking keeping Sam guaranteed a playoff run. No, bro. No. You know what I mean? KOC wouldn't have handled Sam the same way the Seahawks handle him and manage his game, bro. You hear me? Period. We've seen it before. Huh? It would have been the same situation again. Now they could have survived longer. They might have made it to the first round of the playoffs, but eventually, I guarantee you, who KOC really is as a coach, huh? And the mental breakdowns he has every year, week in, week out. The man is still yet to coach a full 4 quarters of a football game. It would have came out again. You hear me, homie? Had a very pivotal moment in a playoff game, in a regular season game. Boom, bro. Whatever. It would have came out. Moreover, his performance in this game brought back the whole Darnold Vikings split from last offseason. On November 30th, 24, Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network reported the Vikings did, in fact, make an offer very similar to the one the Seahawks made. Pelissero acknowledges that the offer only contained a 1-year commitment, but the contract Seattle authorized for Darnold also includes a pay-as-you-go structure. So is Darnold even getting any guaranteed money in Seattle right now? Like I said before, bro, Sam Darnold didn't trust KOC. Period. Bottom line. He didn't trust KOC. He didn't trust this O-line. You know, he didn't trust nothing about KOC. And looking at it now, reflecting back, as much as KOC, Kevin O'Connell, has lied his ass off at every presser, how he lied at the last offseason presser, talking about he going to run the ball. We're going to be a more physical team. You hear me? Oh, yeah, physical team this, physical team that. But the way him and Kwesi been lying, bro, can you blame Darnold for not believing in him and not wanting to re-sign? I mean, just ask yourself this, right? Right. If they offered him a very similar price range and contract that the Seahawks did, boom, a very identical deal, damn near. According to this article here, Pelissero says that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if he loved Minnesota so much, if he wanted to stay, he would have stayed, right? Right. So it was something that made him want to leave, period. He saw something in the Seattle Seahawks teams, coaching staff, whatever, that made him believe in them more than he did KOC. Period. No cap. And can't nobody really say nothing no different, man. I mean, it's evident, ever clear. And I ain't talking about the liquor, right? Right. He didn't want to remain in Minnesota because KOC is untrustworthy. Come on, dog. He's been untrustworthy for 4 years. Stop the cap. Pelissero acknowledges that the offer only, I already read that part, Indeed, the only guaranteed compensation for future years that Darnold guarantee. So he really has no guaranteed money in that contract, according to this here. But he still left and went over there around yonder to play for them Seattle Seahawks, man. Yeah. So he left for a reason, homie. Yeah. He didn't want to remain a Viking. Right? He no longer trusted KOC. And whatever benefit KOC may have been to him, he felt comfortable enough in himself, believed enough in himself, bro, that he said, hey, I'm going to go over here, shut everybody the hell up, huh? Go over here to a team that can manage me well and put me in the best position to shine, who has a run game and who's not scared to lean on the run. Defense, spectacular, damn near. And he made his move and went with it, and it paid off for him. You know, happy for the dude. Really proud of him, the way he performed in that last game. Because like I've been saying, I'm going to stand on it 10 toes down, bro. When you're right, you're right. When you're wrong, you're wrong. I thought Sam Darnold was going to choke and fold. I repeat, I thought he was going to choke, bro, and fold. No doubt. No doubt. But he stood tall, bro. I'm real proud of that dude, the way he handled that business, which does not convert to a full guarantee until after Super Bowl 60. Nonetheless, Minnesota knew that McCarthy was their future, and Darnold likely understood that, leading to his decision to head to Seattle. However, on January 25th, Vikings Jonathan Grenard issued a couple of cryptic tweets after Darnold and the Seahawks defeated the Rams to head to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean, bro? We're gonna see what JG said, huh? Yeah. Let's go ahead and dive into it, man. Yeah. Make sure you come in the chat, bro. You fire it up, homie. Support the grind. Support the channel for real. You want to become a channel member? Sign up. Come rock and roll with me, man. Come lock in with me, huh? Yeah. SKOL VIKES. No cap. After the game, Grenard just tweeted multiple periods, likely indicating that he's speechless. He then followed up that tweet with another, with the words, "What happened?" accompanied by a GIF. Huh? It appears that the defender likely didn't want Darnold to leave Minnesota last offseason. Now, this is what I mean with Grenard and anybody who's thinking or feeling like Grenard. Now, him putting 3 dots, you know, you can assume that's saying, oh, well, look at here. I told you so, whatever. Him putting what happened, you can pretty much presume he means what happened. Why didn't we keep Sam? All of the above. But before anything, I want to address Jonathan Grenard and his play. That's first off. Now, JG, you my brother. I wish you the best, bro. But first off, instead of making a tweet, you hear me, dog? You need to be focusing on rehabilitation, my boy. No cap. Let me say it again so you understand me. Matter of fact, overstand me around yonder. JG, instead of you making tweets and sending cryptic tweets and messages about Sam Darnold and putting 3 dots in what happened, bro. Well, we know what happened. You know what happened. Go talk to your man KOC, then you'll understand exactly what happened. You hear me? You know what I mean? But you, JG, you need to focus on rehab and getting your body right and being able to play and perform a whole season. Oh, I know everybody's saying trade you. I don't want to see you gone, bro. I want to see you back there, Dallas Turner back there, Van Ginkel back there. I want us to keep the same core. You're not washed up. You still a dog, heavy. So all them people capping and yapping, talking about, oh, trade Grenard, this and that, they don't understand what real chemistry, right, means. Keeping a unit together as long as possible means, right? Right. So boom. I'm not on the bandwagon of trade Grenard. No, bro. Hell to the no. If Grenard can stay healthy, he's a real dominant factor out there. Huh? But Grenard, I'm talking to you, homie. First of all, focus on staying healthy for a whole season. Secondly, work on becoming a better tackler, right? Work on calming yourself down, homie, when you coming off that edge. It was a multitude of plays this year, dog, you know, where you could have had about 5 sacks. Come on now, bro. Period. No cap, homie. The Bears game, you missed about 3, homie. Both of them games, you missed about 3 sacks. The Ravens game, the Lions game, homie, all year, you missing tackles, JG. All year, bro. Even last year, you missing tackles against Matthew Stafford. Huh? So why you sending tweets, my boy, cryptic tweets? First off, stand on what you mean, right? So mean what you say then. If you ain't rocking with McCarthy, let it be known. It's time to draw the line in the sand. I repeat, bro. This for any and everybody on the team. Whoever. It's time to draw the line in the sand. But don't sit up here and fake the funk. Y'all making McCarthy a captain. Y'all riding with him. You know, talking about he just need time to grow. We believe in him. He a great leader. This and that. But then it's convenient. Here come Grenard. Boom. 3 dots. After Sam Darnold win. What happened? Like I say, bro, you know what the hell happened. Talking about what happened. Oh, you forgot? What you forgot? KOC happened, bro. Period. We know what the hell going on. We know what it is and what it ain't. Money right in the bank. You hear me? He's sitting back here around yonder talking about what happened. Send that tweet to your boy. Huh? Sam Darnold went to the Seahawks, and the Seahawks put him in the best position to win week in, week out. You hear me? Period, bro. No cap. They ran the ball. They continued to run the ball, and they played great defense. He talking about what the hell happened. Him out of anybody, you should know what happened, bro. The Vikings defense was like that. You know what the hell happened, bro. Period. You hear me? KOC happened once again. Sam Darnold left because he didn't trust KOC, bro. Point blank, period. No cap. But to Grenard, you got a whole more lot to worry about, you know, instead of sending 3 dots like you feeling a certain way, dog. And to Grenard and everybody else who feel like Sam Darnold, we should have kept Darnold. I ask you again, once again, I repeat it, bro. Heavy. You want to compare McCarthy to Darnold? That ain't the move to make. The way to go is what? Compare KOC and what he didn't do to Mike McDonald and what he did do. Huh? Yeah. Compare Kevin O'Connell's staff, right, bro, to Mike McDonald's staff, and compare just how they broke the game down, how they called plays, the scheme they had, how they ran the ball, huh? How they played complementary football to their defense instead of their defense being on the field damn near the whole year. Every game, you're leaning on your defense. Every game, your defense on the field forever. And even then, they didn't break. They have bent here and now, but they never broke, homie. You hear me? Heavy. And that's after being on the field a whole damn season. How can you be a productive defense, which this Flores defense really was, especially at the end of the year? They picked it up even more. I repeat, even more. You hear me? No cap. So comment way down, JG. And if this is any subliminal message to how you feel about McCarthy, hey, JG, you can go too, homie. You hear me? You can go too round yonder. Heavy, homie. I don't really care. Stop the cap season is her. I repeat, man, it's really here. He want to send a damn tweet. You know? Come on, bro. He want to sit up here and send a tweet. Seahawks QB Sam Darnold talks after win over Rams. Moreover, Darnold spoke post-game about his performance against the Rams and his journey from a potential buster, his journey going from a potential bust after the situation with the Jets to leading a team to a Super Bowl. It's amazing to be able to do it with these guys in this locker room, with his coaching staff, Darnold told Fox Sports post-game. That's why it means the world to me. I haven't really thought about his journey to the Super Bowl much, to be honest, but I take it one day at a time. That's it, one day at a time, every single day. Like I said, to be able to do it, it's a special group, and I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. So that's it. That's him telling you right there, homie. He say he wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. And I understand. It may sound cliche, right? But at the end of the day, it's clear he didn't want to do it with the Vikings. It's clear he didn't believe he could do it with the Vikings. And the main culprit, once again, like always, is KOC. So to my boy JG, right? I rock with you, homie, for real. But comment way the hell down. Vikings issued QB tack amid JJ McCarthy doubt. Amid the questions regarding McCarthy, the question will be whether the Vikings will pursue a QB this offseason. On the January 20th edition of Up and Adams, former Vikings pass catcher Kyle Rudolph believes that Minnesota needs to bring in a quarterback who can compete with McCarthy. And we spoke on this situation numerous times as well. I have no problem with the Vikings bringing in a veteran to compete, make it a competition. It will be good for